People think that you have to be like this workaholic that's working 24/7 in order to be successful. That it's all about action and volume and nothing else matters. You know, volume is important. You have to get your reps in no matter what. But have you ever thought about why you set a goal? Why you write down a goal? Not because you want the actual goal itself. It's because you want a certain feeling when you write a goal down. You make a contract to the universe in its own language, and the universe speaks in feelings and emotions. So basically where I'm going with this is if you're able to balance your life the right way, your mental health will greatly improve, which would therefore help with the work and results. If you're able to correctly balance, you'll see a lot of things come easier to you, and you'll feel more sure of yourself. Section 1, what does balance look like? So when a lot of people say balance, they think of like a person working hard, then rewarding themselves with like a night at the bar, or video games, or binge eating. They think that balance is you balance the work with things that are conventionally fun, right? Well, my definition of balance is totally different to that. Remember in the intro when I said goals isn't the actual goal itself. It's actually more so the feeling that you want. Like fulfillment, happiness, confidence, whatever positive feeling you could think of. For example, you don't work out for like the aesthetic physique. The aesthetic physique isn't the actual goal you're trying to work towards. The actual goal is the confidence maybe when you get the aesthetic body. You finally feel confident. So you want an emotion and you set that goal using a certain thing. So think of like this goal that you set as a bridge between you and your desired emotion. So if a goal is a desired emotion or your desired self, because your desired self has your desired emotions, balance looks like balancing your desired self with your current self. Now, what does this mean? Do things that you need to do to reach that desired self. So, you know, like the typical working hard, grinding, you know, meditation, all that stuff, right? But also focus on the things that your current self has right now in the present. And you don't balance. You don't balance daily. I mean, look at the typical workaholic. They're addicted to working. Why? Because they never appreciate what they already have in their current self. I mean, there's a literal saying in Japan called Kojiro Satsu. I probably like butchered it, but I put it on the screen. And like, just for overview, Japan has a very strong work culture. They like to work a lot. And basically what Kojiro Satsu means is death by overwork. Not like they die from overwork, like from actual like health complications. It actually means they kill themselves from the stress work gives them. I'm going to give you another example. Napoleon. People praise Napoleon for being so ambitious, for working so hard. And he was ambitious and worked hard. But he was never fulfilled. And he died alone on an island due to him not being able to balance and appreciate what his current self already had. For example, Alexander the Great too. These people are all great, right? He was never satisfied. He always wanted to build like a great empire, all for it to fall after he died. Like his work didn't even like live for the test of time when he died. But we tie so much importance to our desired reality and our desired self that we often forget our current reality and our current self. And we often don't stop and think about, and more importantly, appreciate the things we already have. The need to always want more isn't rooted in some great ambition. It's actually rooted in insecurity. When you focus too much on your desired reality and aren't able to properly balance the two, it shows a level of insecurity. It shows that you have such a bad self-image because you're so insecure and you have such a bad self-image that you want to do everything you can do to run away from your current self, which is that bad self-image and everything that comes with it. But nobody truly has nothing. If you're on this earth, even at rock bottom, there's at least one thing you can appreciate. And I just want to go on a side tangent. Imagine how insecure you have to be. Like, you know, Alexander the Great, Napoleon. Imagine how insecure they were that in order for them to feel like content and happy and any like sort of positive emotion, they had to rule the world. Just think about that for a minute. But remember, this is balance. Meaning both spending too much time working towards your desired self in reality is bad, but also the latter. If you spend too much time appreciating and showing gratitude for your current reality and you don't do things that get you to your desired self and desired reality, you simply just won't make progress and actually achieve the goals because you're comfortable where you're at. You appreciate everything that you have in your life. You're content on where you're at. You basically just stay there if you're content and comfortable where you're at. You'll be comfortable, and if you're comfortable where you're at in life, that's totally fine. It's your life, not mine. If you genuinely enjoy and are comfortable where you're at, then go ahead, appreciate everything in your life. It's not my life, it's yours, so do what you want to do. If you're not content where you're at, then be aware, and actually you've probably been doing this for a long time, Maybe you haven't taken action yet because you're too much on the current reality side, where you're too comfortable to leave out of it. So leaning too much to one side causes regrets, stress, and depression. So if we're able to understand how to balance these two, we can see how we can make progress and enjoy the process and actually achieve our goals faster. Section 2, how to balance both of these worlds. So you have two worlds. I like to call it your desired reality and your current reality. We've basically established that in order to be at your most optimal, you must balance focusing and working to reach your desired reality, but also stepping back and appreciating the things you already have with your current reality and self. So how do you do this? I've covered a lot on how to get to your desired reality to the point where I'm just going to keep repeating myself and I don't want to waste your time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible. Step 1, identify your goal and your desired reality. And all your desired reality is basically you that has already achieved the goal. Step 2, ask yourself, what are the things I need to do in order to achieve blank? And that's where you insert your goal. And if you don't know what you need to do, that means you don't know enough about that thing in order to know what you need to do. So start learning about that thing. Step 3, in small incremental steps, whether by a daily approach where you increase the number of hours you do that thing, or a weekly approach where you increase the number of days you do that thing a week by week or month by month, slowly increase the hours or days you do them until you maximize your input. Step 4, to find if you maximize your input or not, see if your focus drops to a point where you can't really focus or you just lose respect for the work. Like you're like, I don't care about this work anymore. Please let me just get it done. No matter what you do, no matter how much breaks, meditations, workouts, nothing works to help you regain that focus. Step 5, after input is maximized, go and create daily goals that you know or think will take how many hours your maximized input is. Step 6, do the work until those goals are done and focus on whether you achieve those daily goals or not with quality to determine if you were successful. Step 7, repeat step 6. And that's it. That's basically how you get started. That's how you start working toward your desired reality. If you have trouble with starting and you're too comfortable, follow that 7-step protocol and you will finally gain the momentum to finally push yourself to start working on your goals. But that's only one part. The more important part, and the part people probably struggle on the most, is balancing the work to reach your desired reality and results with appreciation for your current self and reality, and actually implementing that appreciation into the real physical world in like a healthy manner. So I want you to think about anything that you appreciate or value in this current reality right now. What are some things you appreciate? And it can be little things. Maybe it's the music, sun, poetry, books, movies. It can also be stuff like family, your car, if you have one, your friends. Just write down and jot down a list of like 10 quick things that you appreciate and value and are genuinely grateful for. It can literally be the smallest things ever. But if you genuinely appreciate it, write it down on that list. I want to add, if you add something like video games, I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do I really enjoy video games or is it just a habit? And sometimes people don't like the video game itself, right? More so they like the social aspect of like goofing off with their friends and just having fun with their friends. And if that's the case, you don't actually appreciate the video game or value it all that much. What you actually value is your friends or the connections that you make on the game. So if it's like a conventionally bad habit, just ask yourself, do I really appreciate this thing or am I just doing it compulsively? Or is there another factor that comes into play with this habit that I actually appreciate, such as friends, family, or any other thing really? And a good way to do this is by doing that habit by yourself. Like play the video games by yourself, go to the bar by yourself, things like that, and see if you actually enjoy it. If you do enjoy it even by yourself, then sure, include it on a list. But if you don't, it's easy, just cut it out, because this is a list about, what we appreciate and grateful for. And if you can't enjoy it and appreciate it by yourself, it shouldn't be on the list. Anyways, you should have a couple things written down. I'll say 7 to 10 things. Now, what I want you to do is cross all out but 3. The 3 most important for you. For me, it was friends, family, music, sometimes shows and movies. Now, what I want you to do is after you have your 3 or, 4, then I want you to, after your work sessions, and it's important that you finish these daily goals that you have before you go and do this kind of process. And what I want you to do is after you did the hard work, you learned for a little, just go and do one of those things. But here's the kicker. Let it be the only thing you do. Okay, so what does this mean? Let me put it like in it for an example, right? My four were friends, family, music, TV shows. After I did after I did my work, I learned, worked out, and boxed. I picked one of these things. Yesterday it was family, where I just talked with my mom about our days, how we were feeling and our problems, and I was present in that. I didn't have my phone, I wasn't listening to music, wasn't watching any TV shows while doing it. I was present. I was simply just talking to her, present. It was the only thing I was really focused on. Some days it might be friends where the only thing I'm doing is texting or on call with my friends. Some days it's music where, I kid you not, I'm just jamming, dancing to music in my room alone, doing nothing else. Some days it's shows and movies where I watch an episode of Better Call Saul, or an episode of 2 of Martin, or episode 2 of One Piece before I go to sleep and all that stuff. But the overall process is find 7 to 10 things you truly appreciate right now. Write them down or think about them. Then pick 3 to 4 of the most important ones to you. And then when you finish everything that you needed to do for the day, right, which is just your Goldilocks goals or daily goals, pick one of the 3 to 4 things you picked, and you're free to do that thing. But it has to be the only thing you do. 100% focus and presence. Why? Because you must be 100% present in order to be 100% appreciative. This is balance, not monk mode, not all that other shit. This is balance. You can have daily balance, and this is a healthy balance, not the balance where you work really hard, then party or get drunk or jack off 7 times in one day or eat 5,000 calories worth of chips or doom scroll. This is the balance that will get you results and make you happy while pursuing it. I just want to add that I have free one-on-one coaching calls where I help young guys lost in their journey to self-improvement gain clarity and knowledge on how to actually start progressing in their goals without the uncertainty on whether they'll achieve their goal or overcome their roadblocks. So again, it's free. Just book the one-on-one call and we can just talk about whatever you feel like is stopping you from making progress and finally accelerating. So if you're interested, links in the description below this video. Anyways, I wish you luck on your journey and peace.